Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We're on Wheatfield Road. There's the peach orchard. And we're going to turn on Sickles Avenue. Excelsior. And here we go. Today we recorded an episode with Ralph Siegel, Sun Tzu at Gettysburg. And hold on a second, I gotta write something here. And it was long, but it was interesting. The principles of Sun Tzu here at Gettysburg. How you doing, Andy? And it was, I thought it was a Patreon episode because it's such an odd topic. But then Ralph, in the beginning of the show, pointed out that we had questions, and I was like, oh, this is an Ask a Guide? And then I was like, well, we got to start it over again. And he goes, nah, whatever, they don't care. So we continued on. So it's actually an Ask a Guide, but even though I thought it was a, whatchamacallit. Hey, Barbara, how you doing? Hey, Phil. Watched the History Channel thing that they did. It talked about Sun Tzu, talked about Gettysburg. I did not, no. I haven't seen anything on the History Channel since they stopped doing history. I think the last time I watched a History Channel show was when Eric Dorr was on American Pickers for the first time. He had a viewing party at the Gettysburg Hotel, and I went to that. And I want to say that was like 2011 or something, like 2012, something like that. Quite a while ago. I mean, I don't know. Maybe this is an old episode you're talking about, but I haven't seen it. Hey, Matt C, how are you? So it's a beautiful day. We're starting the drive in a different spot than normal, because I was down checking out Beaver Lake. I'm thinking what I'm gonna do is, next chance I get, when I get maybe an hour and a half, I'm going to go down to, I'm gonna start down there because you hear the peepers, and peepers are only here for a short amount of time. So, and they're such a sign of spring to me. I'm gonna set up my camera on a static shot and just record the ambiance of that spot for about an hour, and then put it up on YouTube so you can sit there and listen to it all day long if you wanted to. And then every once in a while I'm going to do that at a different part of the field. No commentary, no conversation, just the natural sounds of the battlefield. And by natural sounds, obviously that means cars, tours, bikes, buses, whatever's going by. But I'm always going to try to point the microphone away from the road, because I want to get the actual nature, but that's not always possible. Sarah says, watch the director's cut day before yesterday and finished yesterday. Beaver Lake should be called Lake Gettysburg. I think I have a better name for it, but I want to be nice. Actually, Beaver Lake has returned to 2 lakes. And I was mistaken. I thought that the drains had been removed. They haven't. Somebody sent me a picture of one of the drains, and it is clogged. That's the problem. It's clogged. I wonder if the beavers figured that out and clogged it themselves, or if it just got clogged from, rains or something. Because that's one thing I never really understood about the drains is the beavers are smart enough to be able to construct these mighty dams and these lodges, but they're not smart enough and they're smart enough to fix any breach in the dam immediately, but they're not smart enough to figure out how the water is getting out when there's a foreign object that's suddenly there. I mean, it took them a while if they did do it, but Ty says, I have contacts at Bushwood Country Club and can put you in contact with the head groundskeeper, Carl. He has history. What? He has history getting rid of varmints. Not a good history, but history. It's not up to me, Ty. I'm not the one who makes it. If it were up to me, they wouldn't have been there for 2 months. But that said, though, I hate to admit this, but I do like when I'm down there and you get out of the car and you just kind of sit on a boulder or something. It's quiet. You hear the birds. You hear the peepers now. And you hear, you see birds that you don't normally see, like blue herons and stuff. So it's kind of cool in that regard. But I don't know. As far as I'm concerned, it doesn't belong there. But like everything, I see the good, I see the bad. And oftentimes, I see them both so well that I'm on the fence. Good afternoon, Marcy. How you doing? Sat in Gettysburg yesterday with 1 loss, and our good friend Sam. Oh God. I don't think I knew Sam. Did I? That's horrible. AR-15. That must not have been nice. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Marcy. I don't know if you caught last week's AG Today at the point when Bethany brought the mood down to 0 because of the horrible stories during the news. We had 2 really brutal murders in the last few weeks, and disturbing stuff, disturbing. I mean, they're all disturbing, but certain circumstances or make it even more disturbing. Need to cut out the yawning. Yeah, I know. I might need more coffee. Grant says those stories were terrible. Yeah, they were. Even Grant couldn't find the humor in them. And they were really just, horror movie evil stuff. Evil, pure freaking evil stuff. Hello, Germany. How are you? I can't read your name because the car is moving and it's in German and I don't want to get it wrong, so I have to wait until I can actually look closely at it. But I do believe you've been on before. All right, we're on the Baltimore Pike. And we are heading to Colgrove Avenue. It's 71 degrees here, in case you're wondering. It was up to 76 before, but a little cloud cover's coming in and it cooled it off. You know, looking at things, you wouldn't think so, but it is warm today. And I have been noticing the little bouquets of, what are they, daffodils? Those yellow flowers that just kind of spring up all over the place. And I love that because that's a sign that winter, as much as it might want to come back once in a while during the month of March, winter is basically over. And yeah, I have some potentially good news on many fronts that I can't share with you yet because they're not set. And some might not be set. Others might be. I'll know when I know. But it looks like this could be a good year, or the first of a few good years, because some of these things might take a year or two to actually get going. But yeah, lots of good things going on with addressing Gettysburg. And I don't know how the hell I'm going to handle it all, to be honest with you. But we'll figure it out. We always do. Oh, Grant, your German makes me laugh. Spring is in the air, buddy. I'll be in town end of April, says Raiders. Very good, very good. Your hard work is paying off. Okay, Grant, I'm waiting for the other shoe to drop. Go ahead. Where's the insult? I don't want to take that's not really a compliment. What is that? The pat on the back just yet. I want to wait to see what your little I look forward to the Grant calls on the show. He makes me laugh. Part of the reason is because I thought he was like a smart, cracking, wise, alecky 23-year-old, and then it turns out he's basically my age, which makes it even funnier to me. Because I don't know, I never met him, you know. take a drive out to the barn and show us what's the barn? Oh, the barn. Well, you can't see much because they have the gate locked, but you know what? Let's do that. I'll take you down there. I just filled up the tank. And now I can't pay my taxes. But no, we'll go we'll go down there. That's a good idea. I like that. We need new good news out of Gettysburg. All bad news coming. Yeah, and you know, with the fire and God knows what else, I have a feeling the news segment might be not so happy again. I don't know, because I don't pay close attention to news, because I like not being depressed. But there's certain things that just, you know, fly in your face. You just can't avoid them. So all right, now what Marcy is referring to is the Barn Resort. And that is down yonder ways, down the Emmitsburg Road. So let's learn some different roads, shall we, folks? Now, you may be thinking, if you come here and visit here a lot, and you stay in town, you're like, okay, Emmitsburg Road. So I would head, you know, maybe your hotel is on the Emmitsburg Road or Steinware Avenue. So you're like, oh, well, then that's just the left out of my hotel, or right, I guess, depending on which side of the road it's on. But I think they're mostly on the one side, so it would be a left out of most hotels. And then you go down through Pickett's Charge, et cetera, et cetera. But let's see if we can't learn some of Matt's patented traffic avoiding ways to get where we want to go. Now, traffic, you know, we complain, especially the locals, because we're not really used to it. Because, you know, during the week, even in the summer, and especially in the off season, traffic is very light. You wouldn't even call it traffic. But in the summer, it can get a little heavier, and that's when it helps to learn the alleyways when you're going through town. But it also, if you will, it also is not as bad as it used to be. I remember when I started coming here, you know, we would come on anniversary weekend for the reenactment. And let me turn the air on so you don't have to listen to the windows. The traffic coming into town sometimes would crawl at a snail's pace, and it would just take forever to get into town and to get around town, and it just seemed more lively and whatnot. Nowadays, it's different. It's a different kind of traffic, and it's never really as bad as I remember it being. Now, it could also be that I was younger, you know, as a teenager when I started coming, and everything seems worse when you're younger. Everything also seems better when you're younger, too. Everything is in the extreme because it's all new to your stupid little brain. So I could be wrong. It could be exactly the same. I don't know. But anyway, point is, if you want to go from, say, where we were, Culp's Hill, to the Barn Restaurant, you could go up through town, up on Baltimore Street, and then turn left on Steinware and go straight down. You could do that. Then you got to deal with all that entails. Or you could come this way. Now, I went down the Baltimore Pike, and I turned on Blacksmith Shop Road, and I'm going to continue on Blacksmith Shop Road. To the left is Hospital Road. You could go that way too. They're both going to end up on the Tawnytown Road. So let's go that way. Now, I have taken this route that I'm going to take you on once. So I might be forgetting something, and we'll see, but we'll figure it out. Probably, yeah. Okay, so there's Big Round Top. I've always loved this farm. When I make my 4th million, I'll buy that one. Alright, so coming to the Tawnytown Road, you might be able to see a car. Well, no, it's going to confuse it. Oh, you just see that red car turning in there, or that little building on the corner, whatever, just to the left there. That's Wheatfield Road. You could take that, and it'll take you out to the Emmitsburg Road, but let's try a different way. Let's show you something you haven't seen before. All right. And I've only seen once. Just was looking at my GPS, and I am correct here, so let's do it. Alright, so you take Tawnytown Road, past the Round Tops, past Wright Avenue, and you're going to turn right on Knight Road. If you hit Route 15, you've gone too far. You'll see trailers. This is is the dealership? It's the trailer park. Liberty RV. Looks like a dealership. Yes. But you continue down along this road, There's the Round Top Mobile Home Park. Okay, that's what I was thinking of. By the way, the dog trainer that we got from Major lives down this road. Fantastic job. Any problems that she has as far as slipping in certain things, it's our fault for not reinforcing. But she came back to us like a completely different animal, and it was great. Alright, so Knight Road is going to eventually hit Ridge Road. And then when you hit Ridge Road, you're going to turn right. So we're now south of the Round Tops. Oh, look at that house. That's nice. And then here's Ridge Road. When you get to this intersection, beep the horn or whatever, or yell out the window and say hi to Cam straight across from us there. He appears to be home. Here's the Emmitsburg Road. Very exciting. Now turn left on the Emmitsburg Road. Okay. There's the Gettysburg Battlefield Resort on the left. That tree line over there to the right is part of South Cavalry Field. Not many people know it's there. It's hard to find a place to park here. You got to basically park on the shoulder. But there are monuments down that road, and you can walk down there. It's grass, but it is clearly an old avenue. I believe I was told that it was never paved, but you know, you can go down there. So it's still there. That's a pretty cool little thing to go see. Eisenhower to our left. And after the Eisenhower, you want to make a right on Cunningham Road. That's where we are here. Do this little turn. And that view is gorgeous. It just doesn't do it on the camera. But anyway, the barn is here, and it is open. The gates are open. I wonder. I'm probably there is a no trespassing sign, and I'm on video here, so unless I'm invited, I'm not going to go. But anyway, there it is. You can only see the top of it. Let me see if I can. There it is. And they've taken down the Boyd's Bear mural, it looks like, or done something to it. Looks different, but yeah. I don't know when they're supposed to open. We couldn't get a straight answer when he was on the show, but I think they probably just don't know. Second Lieutenant Jeremy Harrison here. I'm looking forward to checking out the Barn Resort in April. Been following Lincoln Social online. Looks like they're kicking butt with new additions. Great. I'm glad to hear that. You know, I have not had the time to really go there in a while, so I'm glad you've given me an update there. Some good news, everybody. I was pre-approved for a credit card recently. Pre-approved for a credit. Good job, Ty. So there's some good news. Let's see. A Cups plays. Hello, how are you? 6 questions is there. Hello, Karen. Hello. Good afternoon, team. Good afternoon to you, Dragoon. And by the way, Raiders, thank you for being a second lieutenant. Fresh Entertainment Weekly. Yeah, that's good. I'm glad they're doing that. Jim says, Matt, what is the infernal shaking? Yeah. Jim, it's the, look, this is what that is what I have securing the phone. And it's not the greatest, but it's what I got. So, and I wonder, I don't know, maybe I'm going to move it up a little bit. Maybe bringing it up will help. We'll see. I believe it is a discount amount, yeah. Oh, definitely discount. It was $13. South Calvary Field is definitely worth a visit. I checked out both the Battery and the Ave and stayed at bed and breakfast near there. Yeah, that's the thing, is you got to kind of walk to it. Marie, hey, how you doing, Marie? Haven't seen you in a while. All right, we're gonna leave now. And oh, you know what? Let's do this. Let me take you on. I know I've been down this way with you before, but it's been a while, so it might be a whole bunch of different people watching now. So we'll do this. So we're going down Cunningham Road, which is where the Barn Resort is. Off to the left, you can see Ski Liberty, maybe. And we're just gonna go through some beautiful homes, nice, quiet little area to live, I would imagine. I'm not a millionaire, so I will never know, but I would imagine it is nice if you can live out here, because it sure does look it. And I do know some people who do live out here. I've been to their houses and go outside, and whether you're just arriving or getting in your car to go home, and you kind of just stop and listen, and you hear nothing. No highway, no sirens, helicopters, nothing. And it's very nice. And the views, of course, are gorgeous. Don't wanna deal with the future. Give it every chance. Baby, all you wanna do is dance. So as you can see, it's a nice, quiet little country road down. There's a feller just walking. And you got these big, beautiful Pennsylvania barns. I love these farms where the barn is on one side of the road and the house is on the other. I always wanted to own two sides of a road. Grant says I keep driving on the wrong side of the road. Grant, that's the beauty of living in the country. There is no side of the road. It's just a road. Right? I mean, think about it. There's no cops in rural areas. So if there's no cops in rural areas, there's no rules to the road, right? So drive on the right side. Which, of course, is wrong to you. Because you live in an upside down world. Barbara says, personally, I like living close to things. Gas, food, bank. This would be way too much driving for me. I can understand that. You know, I've lived on both sides of that fence. I've lived in the suburbs where everything was at my fingertips, and many things were open until midnight or 24 hours a day. And so I certainly do understand the allure of that. But then when I assess my life, I go, well, how often am I going out at 1 in the morning to get something? The answer is never. And how often do I need to get gas at 1 in the morning? Never. So I thought, you know, okay, I could go where there are more trees than people. It's ostensibly safer, and it is quieter, it is cleaner, it is relatively cheaper, and I can have quality of life without, you know, stress. Like when I lived back in Jersey, Barbara, the mere fact that I was in New Jersey gave me stress. How do I know this? Because every time I came here for a visit, the stress went away. When I moved back here, as soon as I turned the car off, when I pulled in my driveway the night I moved back, I felt the stress go away. Now, I've been stressed since then, but those are circumstantial stresses. Those are not stresses brought on by place. And so I prefer country. Now, this is pseudo country out here because I've been to the country. I know people who are from the country, and they would laugh at this being called the country. So it's all relative. It's like when I went to college. I went to college in Fairfax, Virginia, and one of the guys on my dorm was from my dorm on my floor was from North Carolina, and I referred to Virginia as the South, and he laughed, and he's like, "Boy, this ain't the South," and I was like, "Well, it is to me," and he's like, "This ain't even close to the South," and he's right, and I get what he's saying, but it's all relative, you know. So this is country enough for me. I can go out to the sticks and shut the world out, go shoot guns in somebody's backyard and do all the rednecky things and enjoy myself, have a bonfire, and then go to town and go to a restaurant and yes, get gas. All right, so what do we got in the road here? Turkeys? Turkey vultures? Looks like. Hawks? What are they? Oh yeah, these are, there's some roadkill. What you eating, guys? It's all right. I'm not gonna take your groundhog. Too bad it wasn't a beaver. Andy says, Matt, New Jersey is a stress pool and a cesspool. Ah, that's good. The one time I went to Camden for a concert, we had to make an illegal U-turn on a dilapidated bridge undergoing repairs. Well, Camden, so I will defend New Jersey in this regard. People look at the Turnpike and Camden as as New Jersey. And the Turnpike misrepresents Jersey because, of course, the part that people remember most is the one and the Parkway that go through Newark, Irvington, the shithole part of New Jersey. And if that's all you ever see of New Jersey, then that's what you're going to think Jersey is. Believe it or not, there is a lot of New Jersey that looks like this. Oh yes, it's true. Miles and miles and miles and miles and miles and miles and miles of farmland in South Jersey, Central Jersey. Camden is not something to judge New Jersey on, except for the fact that New Jersey allows Camden to exist the way it does, and Newark and all these other places. But yeah, for the most part, New Jersey is actually, I mean, people joke, why do they call it the Garden State? Well, actually, they don't talk like that because they're not from Jersey. But yeah, it has a lot of farmland and very pretty. The problem was, for me, it was still New Jersey. It had New Jersey's laws and New Jersey's cost of living, and New Jersey politicians. It's like living under the mafia, and I didn't want to deal with that. Now here, I mean, look, they're all bad. Doesn't matter. But here you can at least delude yourself into thinking that you're living in a freer state. Let's put it that way. Like, nobody bothers you here. I guess that's what it is. Nobody bothers you. You're only going to get bothered by people here if you find bothersome people and hang around them. But if you avoid them, it's a wonderful place to live. I would highly recommend you don't move here, though, because you'll ruin it. All of you. Thank you. All right, so now we're going to turn on Willoughby Run Road. I'm on the Black Horse Tavern Road. Grant says it does seem much less stressful compared to my life in the city and suburbs living. It really is, Grant. I mean, to me, you can withstand just about anything if your health is right. And I don't just mean you don't get sick a lot and your physical health is right. I mean your mental health is right. And stress can lead to anxiety and depression and all that other stuff. And if you know what stresses you, there's really, in my mind, for me, there was absolutely no excuse. I was dead broke. And I was like, I'm never going to get undead broke if I stay here in Jersey. It's such a mountain to climb to get to like middle class there. So I was like, let me go back to a place I understand. Number one, I understand it here. Number two, I love it here. Number three, the people are great here. I mean, I don't know. I've been very lucky. Like, either I've been very lucky or the people are great here. And I think it's the people are great here. And, of course, you find your a-hole here and there, but that's anywhere you go. But overall, the people that live here, especially in the business community, they're very happy to be here. They love it here. They want to see it do well. They want to do well. They want to see the area do well. They want to see it thrive because they know that we got something special here, and we do. And that's why we say it's closed and no one's allowed to move here anymore. Roll Tide says, I agree about being in New Jersey and being stressed just for being there. Too many people, cars and congestion. California is great, and when the wheels were up in that plane, I felt a huge weight off my shoulders. There you go. Cigs and money was surprisingly good. Yeah, they were better than money and cigarettes, I'll tell you that. Andy says, oh, I do miss the country. Hold on, I have to look at the road here. I have a friend who lives, we're going on Park Avenue. Where are you taking us, Matt? Oh, what did you like to know? I have a friend who lives in a mountain, on a mountain, by PA standards, and is literally dead quiet to where you can hear your blood in your ears and pitch black at night. Love it. Yeah, blood in the air. I know exactly what you're talking about. So I lived in the Poconos on the east side of a mountain for a year, and it was the most depressing year of my life. Now, there were other factors to that, but what did not help was the winter. I had moved there in December of 10, and I left in February of 11. And but I lived alone, so this is probably part of the reason. The solitude, and the only sound you could hear outside was the wind whistling violently through the bare trees during the winter. And because I was on the east side of the mountain, it got dark at like 2 in the afternoon. It was miserable. I hated it. And because of that, I say I'll never live on a mountain again. But the way things are going in the country, maybe I will end up living on a mountain again. And I'll just have to deal with it. But yeah, no, so it's tough. Living on a mountain is tough. It was different. And I'm kind of a guy who likes wide open spaces. So it was just there was no view for me. It was all trees. And I don't know. Dragoon says, I think Sigs and Money needs a tribute band. Well, that's what Money and Cigarettes was supposed to be. All right, so now, does anybody want to guess where we are now? If you know, you know, but does anybody want to guess where we are? I've got nobody coming up behind me, so I've got a minute to sit here and wait. Throw out a guess. What road am I about to turn right on? I'd move back to Jersey Shore, but not Hudson County. Yeah, the shore's nice. And the shore is very much like here. In the sense that it's crazy busy during the warm months and then a ghost town in the off season. And so I have a friend who lives on Long Beach Island, and my mother lives just inland of Long Beach Island. And all right, Grant, you got it. I'm in Gettysburg. This is the Chambersburg Pike, and ahead of me is McPherson's Ridge. So we're heading in to the park. Anyway, my friend lives on LBI, and she describes it. It sounds very much like the way it is living here, where you're just you have a town to yourself. It's quiet. You can relax. You can, you're not so busy. And just about the time that starts getting boring, the tourists start coming in, and it gets interesting again. And just about the time they start getting tedious, the tourist season's over. And you get the town back to yourself for a while again, and you can breathe again. I love that. I think that makes life so much more interesting than living in a town that's the same all year long. And I grew up in that type of environment, and I just found it to be very boring. And this is exciting. Instead of me having to go out into the world to experience anything interesting or exciting, the world comes to us. They come here to want to see Gettysburg, and they come here to us, and if I want to go and have an interesting conversation, it's basically like pick a bar and go in there and you sit down at the bar, and you're bound to get into a conversation with somebody. I haven't done that in a long time because I really am not into going to bars anymore. As 45, I'm not 20. But when I used to do it, like, that's what I would do. Like, I I would go to sit at the bar at O'Rourke's, and I'd get in a conversation with some people from out of town, and it's very interesting. Or I'd go to the Farnsworth house, and same thing. And I love that. I think that's, I mean, how else am I going to meet people from England or Israel or, you know, Alaska or anywhere in the country or in the world? So that's the one thing that is very cool about living here. I don't know how many people are traveling internationally to go to the Jersey Shore, but the problem is you got to deal with the New Yorkers. And I guess the Philadelphians if you're on one of the southern beaches. Marcy says, go down Springs. Sorry, Marcy, I didn't see this soon enough to go down Springs. There will be some good tourists this year. Yeah, so you're actually coming up, Grant? I mean, I'm glad to hear that. I was going to try to put together all expenses paid vacation for one of our foreign listeners, but now that opens it up to others to get a chance. I just need to find the means to do that, and once I do, we will figure out the contest. Grant, when are you coming out? Do you have a date yet? Alright, somebody mentioned the peace light. It's just so nice out. I don't want to go home yet because I have a bed frame to put together. And I don't want to be stuck inside when it's nice out. Putting a bed frame together. Stand by your blue suede shoes, but the party is over and I'm getting tired of waiting for you. So for those of you out there who are Money and Cigarettes fans, I was informed by the drummer Jay that he does in fact have a digitized copy of the video, which I did not know existed, or I must have known it but I forgot, of that performance. And I said, well, you gotta send it to me, but I haven't heard back from him yet, so I will keep up on him. Maybe he can send it tomorrow. That would be nice, because that would be right on the heels of the introduction of the legendary Money and Cigarettes. But I doubt he'll be able to do that. But I'll try. I'll text him. Probably late May, early June. Great. So you'll be here for if you're here late May, how long are you going to be here for? Are you going to be here for the Get Out of the Car tour on Memorial Day weekend? If so, Grant, well, I'll tell you later. All right, now for Marcia, I'm going to go down Springs Avenue since we're heading this way. Mike says, I walked from the studio to the peace light today. Wow, good for you, Mike. I haven't done that in years. you know, I'm in search of a good walking shoe. I guess this is normal. Shoes never really mattered to me when I was younger. But now my knees and my back really feel it if I go walking, especially on pavement. And I'm convinced it's the shoe. I keep trying to find these different shoes for walking, and like they're close, but it's just not there. So, any recommendations I'd appreciate. Oh, but Barbara, if you're still on, back to what we were talking about before with the gas and the convenience and all that stuff. You have that here now. We've got 2 sheets that are open 24 hours a day. So if you ever needed something like, a bottle of Advil or something at like 2 in the morning, you can get up and drive yourself out to Sheets and get it. There are some things, but there's no. I think Wendy's is open late, like if you need food. But yeah, there's some stuff here that you can get late. Oh, the drive. So Barbara says, well, maybe you'll find as you age that driving is just not that much fun. Already there, Barbara. Already there. If I have to go somewhere that's more than an hour away, I have to take the whole next day off because I'm staying overnight. Like I'm exaggerating a little bit there, but I'm with you. I used to love driving long distances because, again, I was young. Everything was new to me. So everything was an adventure. Shoot, I forgot to go down Springs Avenue. So we'll go up Springs Avenue. Here we go. Right into the sun. Sorry, Marcy, I meant to turn at the seminary. So I'm already there with you, Barbara. I cannot stand driving. Springs Avenue is full of beautiful houses, as you can see. Let me see if I can get the sun out of our eyes as we go up Springs Ave. See these beautiful old homes. Nice, quiet neighborhood. All right, let's turn here on Howard Ave, South Howard Ave, if you're keeping track. And we're going to turn left onto West Middle Street. Okay, and out we go. Okay. I've got to stop at Giants, so we'll go that far, and then I will end the video and go inside and do some grocery shopping. We are approaching the intersection where the house fire was, and it is still closed. Wow, road closed still. Amazing. There's the building up there, but I can't stop, so I'm going to turn left here. Joshua McDowell says, "Don't say that, Matt. I love driving." Yeah, I did too, but it gets old. You know what it is, Josh? For me, and I don't know, Barbara, maybe this is the reason for you as well. Number one, my patience is a lot thinner than it used to be, right? Number two, I find no car to be comfortable. My back, I have a bad back, and so far no car I've ever driven in is comfortable for a long drive. And if I'm the driver especially, there's no way I can keep tossing and turning and positioning myself to compensate or lessen the pain in my back. So I've got to sit and bear it. So there's that. There's just, it's uncomfortable. And also, man, like, I just find it's very easy for me to fall asleep. Like, driving, especially on a highway, is hypnotizing. And my eyelids get heavy, and I'm like fighting to stay awake. I'm slapping myself in the face. I'm turning the air conditioning on when it's like 30 degrees outside, or just opening the window, really, to try to, shock myself into being awake. And it doesn't work on me. I don't know how that works for other people. None of those things work. So I'll have to like stop and walk around or something. Even coffee doesn't do it after a while. It just makes me have to pee. So yeah, I mean, and the funny thing is, I still, on my bucket list is still this desire to travel the country by road. And I was invited to do a couple of roundtables in Tennessee, and they were offering to fly me out, and I said, no, I will drive. One, I don't like flying. Two, I want to see the country. Three, I don't know when I'm going to be able to do this, but I will. And yeah, so you know. But I think that just happens to everybody as you get older. Who was that, Josh? Andy says, Matt, just 4 years ago, we drove 23 hours to Texas for an afternoon and a night, and 23 hours back, starting in the morning, and it was a 4-day trip. I'm thinking of poor Grant coming up here. Grant, what's the flight from Australia? Like 15 hours? And I hope you have first class, because I'd love to see Australia someday, but unless I can get first class, I can't sit in a plane packed in like sardines like that. Although they must have more room in transatlantic airlines, right? Or jets that are made for long distances like that, because I mean, it's got to be more spacious than a 737 or something. Andy, trains. That I've always wanted to do. What is it? Murder on the Orient Express and what's that Hitchcock movie? Shit. It's not Vertigo. It's North by Northwest. There's some really good train scenes in those movies. I mean, Orient Express is all train. And it just always seemed cool to me, the idea of having your own tiny little cabin on a train, and the dining car. And I don't know, I just think that's cool. I would like to do that. Yeah. I would like to do a lot of things, but there's two things that make it impossible: time and time. So if I could ever free myself up and have what they call time, then I would like to do these things. In fact, I forced myself to take time off in April, and we're going down to Harper's Ferry for 2 nights. And it was actually Cindy's Christmas present. And so, you know, it was, it forced me to take time off. And so, yeah, so there. And by the way, speaking of time off, if you're a first lieutenant and you've been watching the recording sessions, I had to make a phone call to Dave, my schedule manager today, and say, Dave, for March and April, do not book any more recordings because I have a lot of getting my house in order to do. And it is, a lot of it has to do with these potential things that could fall into my lap. One of them would require, it would be taking over. Well, it wouldn't be taking over, I guess. It's taking over a business. And I would assume that I'd have to form a new LLC for that. Well, I know I do. And then another thing is a nonprofit. And that if I can get the right people to want to get involved in that and seed it, then that would require a lot of bullshit. And what was the other thing? Something else. But a lot of things that will require a lot of bullshit. And recording, I have to put that on hold. Luckily, though, we have enough recordings that I can take that time. So first lieutenants, those recording sessions will be a little fewer. There are still things scheduled, and I told them not to reschedule those. So we're still going to have some stuff. And the reason I said it was because I'm like, first lieutenants expect to see this stuff. So, and I know most of you are like, go ahead, take the time off. We don't care. But I care. And there's always some a-hole out there who's going to be like, well, I'm not doing this because you said you're going to do these videos and you haven't recorded anything all month. Even though they don't realize it's because I'm actually working on the infrastructure of my business. But anyway, yeah, so that's just something to keep your eyes open for. Okay, what are we saying here? Let me just, it's hard to read with the sun like this. Any train is the best. Okay, there you go. I agree. Car seat is not really comfortable, no. What was that idea? Texas is a marvelous place, so I concur with Colonel Fremantle on that. I want to go to Texas. I have 2 friends down there who are like, come down, you can stay at our place. And I go, yeah, but it's all the way over there. Can you bring Texas to me? I'm just lazy. Hello, Ghost. How you doing? Andy says, Oakland, California to Pittsburgh, PA. That's not accounting for the time zone changes. There's a great podcast series on a train travel called Grounded Life. Oh, I'll check that out. Traveling by train is one of my favorite things. First class is the only way to go. All right. Beauregard, hello to you. Kevin says, when I went to Australia, I was 22. It was 22 hours in the air from New York. Oh, my God. You should come to Lewisburg, West Virginia for a visit. What's that, like 3 hours away? When am I going to have the time to take a 3-hour car drive? I mean, come on. I can't wait to travel via transporters like in Star Trek. Yeah. No thanks. Miss me with that. All right, guys. I got to go in and get some stuff for dinner. I will talk to you tomorrow. AG Today. Tomorrow, our guest is Sarah from Sweet as Sap. It's a new bakery here in Gettysburg. I went in last week to say hi and introduce myself, and it smelled wonderful, and I'm going to cheat a little bit on my keto diet when she brings samples in tomorrow. And then let's see what depressing news Bethany has for us, okay? All right, guys, you have yourselves a great night. I'll talk to you later.